I'm here with Dr. John Nelson, who loves to botanize, and one of your favorite places to botanize is Manchester State Forest, right here in Sumter County and some other counties too, I think.
Right. Yes, very recently I started a project at Manchester State Forest, which is in western Sumter County, and a little bit in Clarendon County too. But it's a wonderful place. You're right, I wanted to collect plants for the herbarium. So I've been driving back and forth from Columbia. It's not too far. And I got a permit in order to do it.
Certainly.
So I'm legal in making these specimens for scientific purposes. And what a wonderful experience I've been having. And the people over there are very cooperative and sharing their acreage with me.
And they have a lot of activities. You have to, call and find out and sign up, because
they have a website.
It's not a park, but you can do a lot of things there.
Right, and they have plenty of information provided by the South Carolina Forestry Commission. And anyway, at Manchester, there's all sorts of things to do, including hunting and fishing. Of course, there are schedules for that, but also horseback riding. And part of the state trail system goes through Manchester, and Poinsett State Park is right next door. So that's really kind of convenient.
Is it mostly like sandy land of pine trees on it?
Most of it is high and dry.
Yeah.
Of course, this is part of the high hills of the Santee that Francis Marion was a big part of. And but there are also swamps and steep slopes, especially those that face the Wateree River.
Okay. So what are some of the cool things that you found over there?
Well, the coolest thing that we found, and I went over there a couple of times with my buddy Steve Bennett, who is a really good naturalist on his own, and he was taking a good many pictures of stuff with me in a Carolina Bay that we located.
Oh, okay.
And it's on the north end of the property.
And they're all oriented in one direction. For people who don't know about them, they're kind of fascinating to learn about.
They are.
And they're real, you could put your foot over one side and over here it'd be completely different. The Carolina Bay is very unique in what's going to be inside the bay.
Right. Carolina Bays are fantastic places for natural history study. But you're right, they have a sort of a kooky orientation on the ground, and a lot of times they have a sandy rim, at least on the southeastern edge. Not always. But this particular kind of Carolina Bay was filled with almost all herbaceous plants. So it's what we call a grass sedge bay, not many woody plants at all. And one of the ones that got my attention was this hedge nettle. Ooh. I'm interested in hedge nettles. The genus is Stachys. It's in the mint family. And there must have been thousands and thousands and thousands of blooming stems. So it was one particular species, just everywhere, and it was really quite wonderful. And it's the only species that actually does this, that grows in such abundance whenever it does occur. So,
because you found a new hedge nettle and got to name it. Nobody had ever identified it or not.
A new one that was recorded from Georgetown and Charleston County.
Exciting.
Yeah, Stachys caroliniana. But the one at Manchester is a different species. That one's hyssop-leaved hedge nettle.
That sounds kind of pretty.
Yeah, bees love them. It's a bee-pollinated flower.
Okay.
Well, but that was just one of the many places that's kind of worthwhile to see at Manchester. Plus plenty of different plant species.
Well, when you got to some other areas, what were some of the ones that you enjoyed seeing that you might show us pictures of?
Well, I would be happy to. There's a good many different kinds of sunflowers that grow there.
Okay.
Late summer and, of course, autumn blooming.
Yes.
Helianthus microcephalus, which is, I guess
small-headed?
Small-headed. I guess that's the common name.
All right.
But a relative Helianthus strumosus, which has larger flowers and very, very beautiful stuff. Both of these things could be, I think, figured into native plant gardens.
Alrighty.
As well, down in the swampy areas,
Yes.
I've located a population of what's called Caeponia, but it's a vine in the cucumber family.
Oh,
And in the autumn, as in
yeah.
late summer,
Yeah.
it starts making its little berries, which are about that big, but they're the most brightest, brilliant scarlet color you can imagine.
Oh, come on.
And
Oh,
birds
look at
eat
this
them.
picture. It's wonderful.
And
yeah.
it's really incredible.
How delightful.
And plenty of other things in the sunflower family, including doll daisy.
Doll daisy.
Doll, D-O-L-L.
Okay.
And the scientific name of that is Boltonia. It
Okay,
looks like
sure.
a very tall, sort of an aster-looking plant, very airish, lots of branches and a tiny little aster blooms on it. Several goldenrods and
And they're short, they're tall, and they're real attractive to insects. And this is such a pretty one. Yeah.
right, yeah. This one, the Solidago Leavenworthii,
Leavenworthii. Okay.
named for a botanist named Leavenworth.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How lovely.
And then growing near the goldenrods that I saw was a false foxglove. Very, very pretty thing with sort of pinkish purple flowers that
It
you
is.
just go crazy for.
It's pretty.
Like foxes would put their little fingers inside or something.
So
Foxgloves.
yeah, that's sweet.
Well,
yeah.
that's just scratching the surface. So I'm hoping to find even more later on this season, and then beginning, as I said, next spring.
Okay. Well, isn't it wonderful that we have this place right here in South Carolina and that we're protecting several forests in our state?
Right.
Yeah, because we have a lot of people coming in, and we have a land that will be protected forever and available for people to go and enjoy.
Right.
But just check and be sure that when you're allowed to come and what you need to do to get there.
That's a good idea, because they do have schedules.
That's perfectly fine. They should keep everybody safe.
That's
Thanks
a good
lot.
idea. All right. Well, thank you.